Hello. Do you remember a while ago I made an episode about losing weight? I wanted to lose weight. This was a new goal. I decided enough was enough. I'd hit 67 kilograms when I was in the UK, and it was an extra 5 kilograms than I needed, or so I thought. Everything was fine BMI wise. It was all healthy. It was all in the good zone. So nothing to worry about, supposedly. But yeah, I was a bit concerned about all this weight around my waist. I don't know. Maybe it is possible to be in that sort of normal, healthy BMI zone and still have a weight problem. Maybe it's just, I don't know, guidance. I didn't really look into it too much. I just noticed that I was carrying more weight than I needed around my stomach, and I thought, let's get rid of this. So today, I'm ready to reveal what I've been doing. Has it worked? Am I any lighter? Am I any heavier? So, as I mentioned, in August, I was 67 kilograms, which is the heaviest I've ever been in my life. And today, I am 60 kilograms. So, in the space of around 4 months, I've lost 7 kilograms, which is potentially dangerous. I'm not sure. Again, this isn't something that I looked into very much, but I do know it can be dangerous to lose weight too quickly. And maybe that is an example of losing weight too quickly. I'm not sure. But I will say that it wasn't necessarily all on purpose. And to be perfectly honest, I've cheated a bit. Not through anything like having any drugs or something like that. I wouldn't do that. I haven't taken any sort of like weight loss pills, or I haven't started smoking so that I don't eat less or anything like that. I think that the biggest thing that I've done was being ill. It was that period of having COVID when I came back from Japan. I was ill for a while, and during it, I didn't eat properly. I couldn't eat properly, and I managed to lose a lot of weight. So when I actually first measured myself after being ill, I found out that I was about 64 kilograms. So I'm going to guess that I was probably, like the peak was 67 in August, and maybe I was just losing weight anyway. And then I had this COVID nuisance illness, and perhaps I lost 2 kilograms. So the actual figure, I don't think I really. I mean, I suppose yes, I have lost 7 kilograms since last August. But since the first measurement I took, since the time when I said like, okay, I'm going to start losing weight, I was actually 64 kilograms, and now it's gone down to 60 kilograms. So perhaps that's okay, losing 4 kilograms. I don't know. But to be perfectly honest, I wasn't really trying that hard. So let me tell you what I did. Now, I don't know very much about, the best way to lose weight or anything like that. I haven't done any research into it really or anything like that. I just drew on like existing knowledge that I think was correct. And that existing knowledge I had was that calories are sort of like energy that your body needs throughout the day. If you have too much of them, that energy gets stored, converted into fat and stored. I don't know how true that is. I think I'm remembering stuff from school here. So maybe there's one or two things slightly off. I'm sure it's a lot more complicated than that, but perhaps the basics are true. So I thought all I've got to do is take a look at the amount of calories that are coming in and adjust them, lessen them so that I'm not eating as many calories in the day. And if I do that, I should lose weight. It should be that simple, really. I know lots of people's idea about losing weight probably begins with doing something like exercise. I didn't really see the point of that, as bizarre as that might sound, because I know that if I was to start doing exercise, I don't do very much in the way of exercise, which is bad, and I need to correct that. But I know if I did, a side effect of that would be making me more hungry. I'd want to eat more. I want to eat more calories. And that's just, again, this isn't something I've read. It's just something I've noticed myself, self-observation, my own body. If I go out there, if I try running, I have an appetite. It gives me an appetite. And it makes perfect sense, really, if you think about it. If you go out, you use a lot of energy, you've got to replace that energy. You'll replace that by eating more food. Again, it's probably a lot more complicated than that, but I'm still hoping that these basics are true. It seemed to work anyway, what I was doing, so there must be some truth in it. Anyway, I didn't do any exercise at all, but I did start being a lot more conscious of my calorie intake. I mean, not crazily so. I would say that I paid it serious attention for probably the first week or two that I started this. I'm hesitant to call it a diet because, if I use the word diet, people get this image in their mind of I'm cutting this out of my diet and I'm changing this and there's lots of weird diets out there, aren't there? When I say diet, I just mean focusing on on the amount of calories that I'm eating and cutting it down. That's what I mean by the word diet, just changing my diet. But I didn't change what I ate. I don't think. Oh, I did a little. Yes. Okay. I cut out the unnecessary things like snacks, biscuits or something. I wouldn't go to, I wouldn't say that I eat lots of them. I might have one or two every other day, which maybe that is a lot, but I don't know. It didn't seem like a lot. And we didn't always have biscuits stocked in the house all the time. It's just occasionally, an occasional thing. What else? Eating in between meals. I stopped that. So occasionally I'd be feeling a bit peckish. Not hungry, I need to eat now, but a bit peckish. And I'd make a sandwich of something, just half a sandwich usually. Just to keep me going between meals. I think that was probably one of the main causes, to be honest, because I remember when I was actually going out to work, because I work remotely at the moment, don't go into the office. When I was going out to work, you'd have breakfast, obviously, then you'd travel to work, then you'd sit in the office, and you'd wait until lunchtime. And by the time lunchtime came around, boy, was I hungry. Not starving, but I just remember feeling like my stomach was empty, basically. And then the same would happen when I'd, travel home again and it was dinner time and I'd feel like my stomach was truly empty, ready to eat. Whereas here, because I've got easy access to all of the food that I own, I've got my kitchen only a few moments away. I think I've got used to feeling only a little bit hungry and then eating, instead of feeling properly hungry and then eating. So I think that's been a big help. But yes, also looking at the calories and just taking note of how much I'm actually putting into my body. I came up with a target. I can't remember what it was now. I know it was less than 2,000 calories a day, and it was based upon this is about the only bit of research I did do, based upon a figure that I saw on the NHS website, which is our National Health Service in the UK, and they had some information about losing weight, and it just basically said, if you're looking to lose weight, try and keep your calorie intake to under this figure, and it might have been 1,500 or a bit more. I've already forgotten it, to be perfectly honest. I only paid attention to it for the first 1 or 2 weeks, maybe a little bit into the third week, as counting what calories I had, and I think what really happened is during that time, that adjustment period, I remember feeling hungry a lot, obviously, but I don't know, my body just got used to it. And then after that, I wasn't really paying much attention to it to this diet or to like trying to cut my calories or anything. I just carried on as normal. But I don't know, maybe my stomach shrunk or something. I just didn't feel, I guess I wasn't eating as much as I used to. I got used to not eating so much. And then I just carried on not eating so much. And then I just noticed every time I was weighing myself, which I did every week, at the same time, wearing the same amount of clothes, I'd notice my weight was coming down. And earlier on, it got to the point where I hit my ideal target. I'm back at that 62, which I mentioned in the last episode. I talked about this, 62 being the sort of weight that I'd been for ages. And then it's like, okay, done, hit the target, good, finished. My stomach's gone, great. I can stop now. I still carried on measuring my weight just because sort of I've got into that habit, but I noticed it kept coming down further and further. So now I've got this unusual problem where I seem to be losing weight that I don't want to lose anymore, and I don't know how to go about fixing that yet. I've actually tried to start eating a bit more, and it doesn't seem to be going up yet. It seems to still be coming down. So I've now dropped to around 60 kilograms, like I said. So I've got the exact opposite problem now, and I'm a bit worried. I don't want to lose any more weight. And I don't know how to put it back on yet. So maybe I do have to do some research or something like that. And I don't know. I will do an update about this topic in the future. I'll let you know how it's going, what's happening. But weird. It's and I never thought I'd have the opposite problem. I've never even heard of that really. It's the opposite of weight gain. It's like a weight loss problem. Anyway, BMI wise, it's still in the safe zone, a nice green area. So hopefully it's okay. But yeah, I'll try and put a stop to that because I reached my target. I'm perfectly happy. 62. 60 is a bit too. It's not enough for me. It's I think it makes me look a bit like scrawny, like too thin. And then but anyway, I'll keep you updated. Like I say. Until next time. Bye bye.